welcome back to Authentic Analysis with Kay. And today I will just be making a quick video just to sum up what I was speaking about in my last video, and that was the honey trap murder of Saul Murray that happened in Luton. So if you haven't watched that video, please check that video out before you watch this one. Thank you to everyone that watched, liked, comment and subscribed, left me feedback. Even if you didn't like it, a view is a view. So I didn't expect so many people to watch it, but you know, maybe I am a bit entertaining. So I thought I'll just do a quickish video, and I know I always say quick and it ends up being like 20-30 minutes long, but I am going to try and be more concise and precise. Yeah. So yeah, I will be talking about the sentences and my opinions on the case, and yeah, so if you've got any comments or anything that you want to say and your opinions on the case, please leave it down below. And I know YouTubers, people that make videos always say like, comment, subscribe, and I don't really know if that makes a difference, because if I like someone, I'm going to subscribe either way. But just to be a sheep, like, comment, share, subscribe. So I will start talking about their sentences, and I'll go from, I guess, based on their sentences, from least involvement to obviously the most involvement. So if I'm looking down, it's because I wrote the sentences down, so I didn't want to be thinking, oh, which one, what was it? So yeah. So we'll start with Temidayo Awe. She, as a reminder, she's a 21-year-old and she was a Coventry student. She did have some involvement with Supreet Dhillion, as they showed in the show. That I think she used to work in Supreet's Jamaican takeaway. That they said they thought was a front. So anyway, Temidayo was given 7 years for manslaughter, and she was given 6 years for the conspiracy to commit robbery, and she will serve her sentences concurrently, which means that the sentence that she was given for her crime, so the 7 and 6 years, will run at the same time. So she will do the 7 years. So if she had been given 10 for manslaughter and the 6 for robbery, and it will run concurrently, she would still serve 10. So I forgot what the other word is when they're not running concurrently, but I don't know how often that happens in the UK. Cleon Brown, 29, from Hackney, was given 11 years for manslaughter, and he was given 9 years for conspiracy to commit robbery, and his sentences will also run concurrently, which means that he'll be doing a total of 11 years. So Supreet Dhillion, 36, the 36 years old, was sentenced to 10 years for manslaughter, and she was given 10 years for conspiracy to commit robbery, and her sentences will also run concurrently, which means that she will serve 10 years. Ikem Aafia, the one that you saw in the CCTV holding the knife, he was the reason why Saul Murray is no longer here today, which obviously makes sense why he got the harsher sentence. He's 31, he's from Hackney. He was jailed for life, but life, is a minimum term of 25 years. And he was given 14 years for conspiracy to commit robbery also, but his sentences will also run concurrently. I'm not sure how they determine if the sentences will run concurrently or not, but I think what makes sense to me, because obviously what they might have said, I wasn't in the court case, if the murder wasn't supposed to happen, it was supposed to be a robbery, that the manslaughter, what they determined they gave them for manslaughter, happened in the process of committing a robbery, which I assume is why this sentence will run concurrently, as opposed to if they had evidence that they were planning to murder Saul, and then they just robbed him anyway, then I assume that the sentences wouldn't run concurrently. That's my opinion on, I think, why it works like that. I wasn't in a court case, I'm not a judge, I don't know exactly how the law works, but that's my understanding of it. And obviously a lot of people, when cases like this happen, not even like this, when cases like happen and they're in the media quite a lot, the first thing that people say is, oh, okay, cool, not cool, but they were given 10 years, but they're going to serve 5. Or they were given 25, but he'll probably get out earlier. I don't know, life sentences might work a bit different. A few cases that I know where people are serving, like, there's no time, or they haven't been given a sentence for life, and when they feel like you might be okay to be let out, they might let you out. So in the case of Sharon Carr, if you watch my videos old back that I did with AI, said that she committed a murder when she was 12, and this was in 19 in the 90s, and she's still in there. She went to Broadmoor first, and now she's been moved somewhere else. So cases like that do happen, but obviously it depends on the seriousness of how they determine the case. I guess media traction and so on and so forth. So in terms of the perpetrators, out of all of them, obviously this is just based on the show and my opinion. Obviously I know I definitely could be 100% wrong. The only person to me that showed remorse was Temidayo, but she might be showing remorse because she messed up her life, not because Saul is no longer here. So I don't want to say I feel empathy or anything like that, but I think out of all of the perpetrators, she's thinking like, now my life, I've messed it up. Like, all she had to get through the third year of uni, and that was it. Like, I don't want to give anyone too much leeway, I suppose, but I do hope maybe that she can finish the course while she's in there. Like, I know she's meant to be on a punishment right now, but at least, she's taken out student loans, she's done all that, and I know that was the wrong thing, but at least to finish her university course, but that's probably highly unlikely. Because obviously when she was talking on the phone to her friend, she didn't even call home. She was just like, my mom's gonna be so disappointed in me, and so. And in cases like when people commit serious cases, I always wonder, like, you go to jail to be rehabilitated, I assume. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to go, but I watch a lot of more American crime shows. But if you're to be rehabilitated and you come back out to nothing, then you can't really be rehabilitated. Not saying that everyone should lay out a hand and foot for you or give you a silver platter, but it is kind of hard to put yourself back in society once you do crime like that. And I'm talking about the ones that are remorseful and do regret it, and if maybe it was an accident or so on and so forth. And I don't, of this with these cases, I just want to talk about what happened and maybe my opinion on the show and a bit about the story. I don't really like to give too much opinion on how I feel about people that commit certain crimes like this, because I don't think it's really my place to do that. And this is more focused on Supreet, because when they were talking about her in the show, they said something along the lines of she has basically done this before, not in terms of it ending in someone dying, but she's given someone the GHB drug to rob them, and obviously this time now she's done it and it's gone out even worse for her. And she was given a 10-year sentence, which she probably won't do all of it. One, probably the prisons are overcrowded, if she's on behaviour, circumstances, so on and so forth. But is she going to do it again? I don't know, hopefully not. Like, hopefully her realising that she's not going to be able to go home with her kids, or not. She'll see them because they should be able to come and visit, but that should have some effect on her not committing the crimes again. As for the other two, I don't know, like, men work different, so I can't really think. And obviously the detective was saying on the show that it's rare to see women in these kind of cases. You see them more involved in sex crimes, which I'm kind of more surprised about. Like, I know you don't see a lot of women in these kind of cases, but I don't know if there were more in sex crimes, but obviously now that I'm more aware of that. My thoughts on the show: they put the show together really well. They gave you, like I said in the other video, they gave you a very in-depth feeling of the case. Honestly, at times I literally felt like, not I was there at the scene, but I felt like I was like back in that time when it happened, like experiencing that. Like, them showing the CCTV first was like a good idea. Whoever put the production together to show what happened. I'll say it's not calm. I don't want to use the word calm or anything like that, but you felt it. Like, when you saw that CCTV of his last final moments, that I don't think that part made me not even want to really watch it again. So I don't. It was hard to watch. And then obviously I assume, let me not say, you keep using the word obviously, I need to stop doing that. When he opened the door to look outside, I don't know if they were already gone, had they gone in the car, did they flee? But it was just kind of deep, like, nothing, literally just nothing. He's just there, they've left him, and that was it. So, and also the fact that the stabbing probably took place maybe in the bedroom or on the way out of the bedroom. So obviously they showed the blood splatter, and it was a lot. And obviously they all left. Not one person thought, damn, that is, we shouldn't have done that, or we're going to get him some help. They just kind of called it a day. But the show did really good in showing that, and showing the detective work and what they did in terms of finding out who committed this crime. And I don't even think that it wasn't even a lot of time from the crime was committed until they were caught. So I don't really know if they didn't notice that the CCTV camera was there, or they thought they wasn't going to get caught. So I don't know. It was kind of strange. Why? I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into thinking why they didn't do this and why they didn't do that. So I'll be here all day because I've got a lot of thoughts about it. But were the sentences fair? Maybe for one. For the others, not really sure. It depends on how the court case went. Did they? Most likely, I probably think 3 out of the 4 probably started talking. I would give it even maybe 2 out of the 4 probably had. Actually, they did. 2 of the 4 started talking because they knew how the seriousness of the situation, and the other 2 probably thought, it is what it is. I'm probably gonna get what I'm gonna get. So, and you could tell when they were interviewed by the police, they were like no comment. And obviously, by the time you get to the court, it's always another story. So, I don't know what the best practice is when you're in a police station. Is it best to give no comment? Is it best to tell your side of the story beforehand? I don't know. So yeah, they were all basically caught flat out. They were all caught on camera. They all caught on camera afterwards, same clothes, so on and so forth. So it was just, yeah, they nabbed them in the bag pretty much. So hopefully this gives awareness to people, like, to be careful who you trust and who you're letting in to your home. And it's very easy these days because obviously dating apps, social media, you assume you meet someone and they say they are who they are, but you don't know who they really are. Do you get what I'm saying? And we can all be naive to think that we can just maybe not trust someone, but think they wouldn't do something that deep. But him doing Saul Murray doing those kind of crimes and not assuming that could happen, it's kind of strange in my opinion. But like I said, sometimes bad things do have to happen for people to be more aware, and hopefully these things don't really happen again. Not letting people into your home, no matter how much, you feel like you want to meet up and do the thing and so on and so forth. It really wasn't worth it. And the detectives said they didn't run in the same circles, they didn't really know each other. So maybe that because they didn't run in the same circles and they didn't know anyone, they didn't have any mutual contacts that we know of. Maybe that's why he was a bit more trusting, because like, she don't know me from a can of paint, so what's she really gonna do? And I've heard, guys, I've spoken to like a male friend, no, maybe not male, maybe a work colleague or something like that, that was like, oh, what's a female gonna do? And I'm like, how could you be so naive and think that what's a female gonna do? Okay, physically she's not stronger than you, physically she can't do anything, but there's lots of things that women could do. So don't be so naive to think that. And obviously you don't want these kind of things to happen again. So hopefully, like, people watch this and learn, like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have to keep your, I guess, prized possessions, but sometimes it's just best not to let people know your next move. It's not even the best thing, you shouldn't. Like, if you got a nice car, or, you moved into a nice house, whatever, it's nice to, like, show these things and show that you've worked hard for them. But I think it's best to keep it on social media, because not everyone is always going to have your best intentions, And the thing that was like, they were saying about Supreet is like she was doing these things to maintain like a kind of lifestyle. So, I mean, I hope that she at least put some money away, at least. But that's it, guys. I will cut this video. It's pushing on about 15 minutes. Man, I can talk. But yeah, that is it. That is the case of Saul Murray. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you stay tuned, subscribe, and please comment below if there's any other cases that you want me to talk about, or any other topics. I don't want to just do crime. If there's anything you want me to discuss, feel free and I'll be happy to do so. So stay tuned and I'll be back.